right, it's noon, so we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to press record. David, I see your question. I'm not able to give recording because of the system we're on, but I'm going to go ahead and record it. I will make Chris the spotlight video, and so you will have her lovely smiling face recorded, and I will send you all a link via Dropbox. And if something else needs to happen, just let me know. I apologize. This is the way our system is set up. So I'm clicking record, and I did put Chris's title in the what I sent you all. If you need something else, just let me know, and we'll go ahead and get started. I'll ask a few questions just to get us going. You can either put some questions in the chat, or if you want, I will give you a time to unmute and ask the questions yourself. So first, Dr. Bryant, we saw that the FDA has expanded its EUA on the Pfizer vaccine to children 12 to 15. What does this mean, and what is the next step?
Oh, it's really exciting. So let me start with next steps. Now that the FDA has extended the emergency use authorization for the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine to kids as young as 12, the next step is for the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices to meet and recommend how we should use this vaccine. They are meeting tomorrow, and everyone expects that they will recommend that we give the vaccine to kids 12 to 15 years of age. And then after that, the director of the CDC needs to make a final recommendation, and we could have vaccine for kids as young as 12 as early as Thursday.
Okay, so as far as Norton Healthcare and Norton Children's Hospital, when do we expect to start vaccinating children as young as 12?
We hope as early as Thursday, if all goes as expected. Right now, we've been offering kids and their families the opportunity to pre-register for a vaccine. We have a little over 3,000 kids already pre-registered. As soon as all of the approvals are in place, they will receive a link to actually make an appointment to get vaccine.
And then people who aren't pre-registered, what happens then?
Perhaps as early as tomorrow, we hope, the site will open up at nortonchildrens.com. So we hope as early as tomorrow. Vaccination appointments will be available. Families can check out nortonchildrens.com.
Okay, and so a lot of parents will be having questions. Do kids still get 2 vaccines?
Yes, just like adults, children will need 2 doses of this vaccine. They're 3 weeks apart.
Okay, and I have a few questions, and then we'll open it up. So one of the things that parents are very concerned about is the testing of this vaccine. What can you tell us about that on this age group?
So we know that Pfizer studied this vaccine in more than 2,000 teenagers, 12 to 15 years of age, and it was safe. The side effect profile in kids this age was really similar to what we see in young adults. So common side effects include sore arm, feeling tired, maybe some headaches or muscle aches, but the side effects don't last very long, fortunately. I think another thing for parents to remember is that now across the world, millions of people have received this vaccine. And it has been safe and effective in older adults, older teenagers and adults.
What are some of the things you're hearing from parents? Are they excited? Are they nervous? Are they hesitant?
Well, I will say that people continue to reach out to me and say, I want vaccine for my child. When can my child get vaccine? What's the earliest? And so, I think parents have been waiting for this. We know that vaccine is an important step to ending the pandemic and getting back to normal, being able to do all of the things that we love to do. So this is an important step. Is that every parent? Probably not. So I think it's fine for parents to have questions about a new vaccine. And so that's why it's important to talk to their child's pediatrician and get the information they need to make a good choice for their children.
Okay. Do you know where else a 12 to 15-year-old can get vaccinated, and what proof do they need to show of age, and who should be with them?
So we are going to have a variety of sites where children can be vaccinated. Norton Children's has a history of providing care to children throughout the region, and our vaccine efforts are not going to be any different. And so nortonchildrens.com will list the sites where kids can get vaccine.
And from Myra also, the same vaccine that's given to adults will be given to 12 to 15-year-olds. Can you just clarify that?
That's correct. The vaccine that we're talking about for 12 to 15-year-olds is the same vaccine that is being given to adults.
And how many adults have received that vaccine so far? Do you have that number off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but likely millions at this point.
If parents in a given household are hesitant to get the vaccine 5 months into its availability, how do you reach them about getting their teen vaccinated days or weeks into the availability for them to get a shot?
So that's a great question. I think we need to understand where parents are coming from. I think the concerns may be different for different families. And so first thing to ask is, tell me your concerns, your specific concerns about your family, your child. Some parents may say, well, I've heard that kids don't get COVID-19 or they don't get very sick from COVID-19. And so what we know now is that kids do get COVID. More than 3.7 million kids in the US have been infected with SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. And while some of them have mild or even asymptomatic disease, some will get very sick. 1 or 2 kids out of 100 will need to be hospitalized, and kids who are hospitalized, 1/3 of them may need care in the intensive care unit. Some kids, even those who have few or no symptoms with their initial infection, will go on to develop multi-system inflammatory syndrome, which is really a life-threatening inflammation of the internal organs. Fortunately, that's rare, but there's no way to predict which child will go on to develop this severe complication. It is true that in general, adults tend to get sicker with COVID-19, but that doesn't mean that this can't be a serious disease in children. And in fact, several hundred kids have died from COVID-19. That's rare, but again, this is a disease worth preventing.
So what does this new access mean for herd immunity?
So an important question. So public health experts have said that we need about 80% of the population to reach herd immunity. Well, kids under 18 are about 22% of our population. How can we get to herd immunity if we don't immunize kids?
Okay, so what if you've got a 12 to 15-year-old who wants the vaccine and the parent's not on board, or vice versa? How do you approach that?
So we do need to have parental consent for a teenager below the age of 18 to get the vaccine. If a parent wants their child to get vaccine, but the 15-year-old is hesitant, I think we need to take a pause and make sure that the teenager's questions are answered. If we have a teenager who wants vaccine and the parent says, I'm not sure, I think that's a great opportunity to sit down with the pediatrician to hear everyone's concerns, to get families the information they need. And then hopefully parents will be able to talk to their teenager and come to a good resolution.
And then Myra, did Dr. Bryant go over the proof of age and who should be with them? No? Okay, so Dr. Bryant, when someone shows up for a vaccine for their child, what do they need to do for proof of age of their child, and who needs to be with them?
So children under 18 must be accompanied by a parent in order to get the vaccine.
Okay, so proof of age, is that just within their medical record, or are we, how are we handling that? I have an 11-year-old who would love to get a vaccine. She's not 12 yet. I'm not going to lie.
Right. So that's a good question. We'll have to get back to you on that answer.
Sorry.
Go for it, Myra.
I saw an article where they were saying that, if you go to a place where you have prescriptions filled or you have a record, that is an easy way of showing proof, but they were concerned about drive-through sites, I guess. Do we foresee children getting vaccinated at drive-through locations?
We are currently not working on drive-through locations. So for the last several months, Norton Healthcare has had sites, vaccination sites set up within the city that have been walk-in sites. And that's really the strategy that we'll be focusing on.
So Myra, we don't know what anybody else is planning at this point. We can only speak to what we're doing. Any other questions from anybody? If you want to unmute. Going once. Okay, so I see on the call we've got someone named Jennifer, someone from Suzanne, someone named Suzanne, and someone from the CJ. If you could shoot me your email, that way I can make sure I send you the link to the recording. That would be great. David, do you have a question?
I have a question that I was thinking of. When we talk about having these discussions with pediatricians, obviously you listed out the downsides to not just children, but everyone not getting the vaccine. On the other side of things, there have been incentives put out in some cases in the public. Get the vaccine, you can go to this ball game, this concert. Can you see anything like that for the younger population too? Hey, get the vaccine, you can go with your friends to summer camp, you can go to baseball camp. Do you think that would be a good policy movement as well, kind of the carrot and not the stick?
So I think we have certainly seen over the last 15 months or so that camps, for example, can have outbreaks of COVID-19. And so I would be surprised if some camps didn't require COVID-19 vaccine. I think globally, the same sort of carrot applies for kids as it does for adults, right? What did we learn from CDC? They said, if you are vaccinated, fully vaccinated, you can gather with other vaccinated people without a mask. And so I think the biggest carrot is understanding that when we are vaccinated, we can, that's the goal, getting together with small groups of people who are also protected. I think we can think in the future and say, gosh, we all look forward to the time when we won't need masks out in public. We're not there yet, but we can gather. And I would be surprised if there weren't strong recommendations or requirements for vaccines from some camps. I think also it gives parents peace of mind, right? If their child is going away or is joining a group activity, and they're going to be around a lot of other kids, this is another measure of protection.
Anyone else? All right, well, I will press stop on the recording. If anybody thinks of anything else, let me know. I will send everybody a link as soon as it downloads. And thank you so much for your efforts to help get the word out on vaccinating kids in this age group. And hopefully I will have some more things for you to talk about and see in the coming days. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.